What's up, and welcome to another episode of Verbal Vibe Mode. I'm your boy, Kong of Beast. And joining me today, we have Lady G.
What's poppin'?
And not one, but two special guests, JoaquinMacheen.
How's it going?
And back for another round. I don't know, just glad he's here. AaronShack.
I'm so upset right now. Gosh.
Starting off the episode angry? What's going on? What's the matter?
I'm peeved, guys. I'm peeved.
Aaron already flipped the table.
My work here is done.
Thank you for coming to another episode.
Verbal Vibe Mode.
Oh, man. How are y'all doing today? How's everybody?
Pretty good.
I'm great.
Good. I've been good.
That's good. It is fantastic to always have special people on here. It's great to get you back, Joaquin. It's been a minute, so I'm glad to see you in here. And Aaron, thank you for showing up, man.
Thank you for having
Thanks
us.
for having me.
Hey, no problem. Today's episode, we're gonna deal with things that are triggering and pet peevish. Pet peeve.
No,
We're gonna deal with things that bother you.
like that whole thing right there. That was one.
Yeah.
Oh man. And there's adults, we're a couple of years out there, so there's a lot of things that we have grown to dislike. So does anyone want to get started first? Aaron sounded really eager, but I'm not gonna put him on the spot. Does anybody want to get out their peeve or peeves?
I think one of the few things for a pet peeve of mine, especially like in a work environment, there's always going to be that one person that's just gonna basically overshare or even over-explain themselves on situations that are just very minor. You're already dealing with a lot as it is, even outside of work or even in a personal life. And I think there are some things that could just be summarized. It's just a fine line of an explanation. And I think things can just be summarized just in a matter of like even a minute or two. You don't need to build off on something for like 30 minutes or so. It's like if your boss was telling you something that's like 20 minutes of your time, when you can go ahead and cut it to like 2 minutes. Like, just let me know, tell me this in just a matter of minutes. And just 2 minutes is fine. I don't need something to be clarified to me. I understand what you're saying, but I just, my time is just like precious to me. Like, I need to get back to work. I have other matters to attend. But it's just stuff like that. Like, I don't need it. I don't like it when others tend to like over-explain a situation or even a personal matter sometimes. Just like, just let me know what's going on so I could tell you what my piece is as well. That's one thing that
you would like them to be concise, Joaquin.
Exactly.
Like you were with that sentence.
Yeah.
Because that was very long.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Damn.
Hey, like, wrap it up.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, we got you, but we was like, all right, player, when's he gonna? Okay.
We got you.
Yeah. Okay.
That's so
But no, I understand that, especially when it comes to a work environment. You definitely want like the details, like right there. Here's what I got to do. Tell me who, what, where, why, and when. Target audience. Bam. Okay, I got it. Let me go do the task instead of talking to you for the next 20 minutes about what I should be doing and
Yeah.
something else that has nothing to do with the task. With like a run-on conversation.
This is like having the meeting to talk about the meeting you're gonna have later, doing the Zoom meeting on
Yikes.
that. Like, just like the pointless meetings that workplaces have too.
The good old meeting that could have been an email.
Yes, as always. Which is that's like a good other peeve that I think we probably all agree on. It's just like stuff like that. Like anything useless that can just be compartmentalized. Like, don't call me if it could be a text, or
Right.
don't Zoom meeting and waste like 10 or 15 people's time. If you could just shoot out in an email and say like, "Hey guys, we're gonna talk about this at 5:30." All right,
and
let's do it.
yeah, that's very prevalent now. They just like, we just want to see your faces because within a pandemic, they feel like, since you're at home, you're not
Wonderful
working.
little Zoom meeting.
Oh,
You have to
yeah,
have a
I've heard
Zoom
that.
meeting and make sure your cameras are on, people. And it's just like, okay,
Mm.
sure.
Why do you want to see me so bad?
They love
Right.
doing it.
Good
Don't ask
grief.
me.
A face reveal.
Yikes.
Look at my face.
What you got going
Look
on
at
there?
my face.
Basically, a whole show and tell. Like, what are we meeting about again? I
Right?
don't remember. Okay.
Yeah, and
Mm.
being off topic, and yep, that's one
Yeah.
thing.
It's like
Yes.
a personal ranting session. It's like,
This
I
is
don't
true.
communicate with people. I want to talk to people. Let me schedule a meeting.
Like, are we
Mhm.
really here for the meeting, or are you just like kind of lonely? Like, what's
Basically.
going on here?
That's all it is.
I don't I can take critique really well because it's in the nature of my job, musician, entertainer, but when it's, like, coming from people that don't know their shit, like, you know what I mean? Like, if Kong critiques me, I know because he listens to music, but when, like, somebody that just, like, doesn't sing, couldn't carry a tune, couldn't hold a pitch, and then, like, wants to ridicule me or my education or like, "Oh, he's not that
Oh
good." Like,
boy.
and it's like,
Yeah.
"Okay, well, why don't I just step down, you get up and try doing my job
Oh
and see how well it goes. See
my
if you get some
goodness.
stage fright, man." Like,
Yo, and that is in so many freaking like so many forms of
yeah,
that.
yeah, not just
Like
music. Yeah, like it's
all of us being creators,
mhm,
you would not listen, listen. Like you said,
Mhm.
Aaron, I listen to music. So I
It
think for the most part, Joaquin, I don't know your music history or your music background, but me, you, and G, like when it comes to audio, we're very much so audiophiles. So with us being streamers, that's something that's very important to us. So when you have somebody else come in and
mhm.
say your audio is messed up, and you're just like, and it's not even to help the situation. It's just because they want to criticize you,
No.
and you just sitting there like, are you serious? Are you serious? Do you
Yeah,
know?
you're just like, ugh.
Do you know how hard I worked to separate each audio file just to be able to make sure that everything is leveled so you can be able? Mm, ah, ah,
Oh well, yeah. The one time they catch you slipping.
yes.
And listen, here's the step that makes it worse. It'll end up being something on their end, like, they didn't turn something up, and they're like, "Why do you sound quieter than the game?" And I'm like, "I don't
Like,
know,
are
check
you
your speakers or some
serious?
shit." Like,
Are you
"Oh, sorry, I
serious?
didn't have it turned up."
That is the
Oops, had you
Yeah,
on
like
mute. My bad.
they will literally dude, if people could critique a movie while they're watching it, they'd be like, "You know what? Hugh Jackman sounds a little quiet. Could you turn him up a little bit?" Like, before they would think of, like, looking at their own setup. Like,
Mhm.
listen. That's like
come on, man. Come on, son. I worked too hard at this audio. Come on.
Yeah, I was just gonna say the volume's not turned up all the way.
I do appreciate when people call it out because some people will watch your stream for, like, 30 minutes and,
Not
like,
say a
someone will
word.
join in at the end and be like, "Hey, you were muted for, like, the last 2 hours."
So the entire time, we didn't hear anything you said.
goodness.
It's like,
Mhm.
"Oh, 6 hour stream. Oh, okay, no big deal."
Epic gameplay, insightful conversation. You missed it all.
Up. Because it has happened so many times in streams and the things that like playing my instrument, like playing my bass and stuff. It's just, like, do you know what you're talking?
People are like, "Bass isn't so hard, is it? Like, you just slap the bass and you hit a few notes, right? Like, I could do that." Like,
I think I'm gonna pick that up. I think I can learn that in a weekend with YouTube.
this is literally the disrespect you get as a
Hey,
Mhm.
graphic
musician
designer, artist as well. So yeah.
on the regular. Oh, dude, I got one. Okay. My 15-year-old son writes songs too. Oh my gosh, he's just like you. Like,
Oh,
when someone learns I'm a musician, they're like, "My kid does that too." And I'm like, "Oh yeah? Did they go to fucking college for like 4 or 5 years?" You gotta put your 10,000 hours in if
Yeah.
you're gonna learn a skill, man. And also music is not about I had to face this pretty hard in my workplace, but music is not about having any sort of degree or something. They wanted me to have a bachelor's, master's, or a doctorate or something in music, and I'm like,
Mhm.
I can just play really good, and if that's not good enough, like, I'm out."
They probably saw it on YouTube, but I think actually I think actually learning the material, and not just watching it in a video, because when you want to master like a craft, like being a musician, Aaron, I think that's more value. You're getting more knowledge about it instead of just like a video of what 3 minutes. I'm
You're good at what you do. That should be
exactly,
all that
exactly,
matters, right?
exactly.
You can do the
So
job.
w-
And passion goes way further than degrees and all the other stuff,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely. You have to actually want to do what you're doing and have a genuine interest in it and not just stumbling upon it thinking like, "Yeah, I got this."
Mhm.
Oh yeah. And slightly piggybacking off of Aaron here, because I'm just thinking to myself, and he pretty much hit it on the head almost. But people that like, I'm a crane operator for my regular job. So when I have someone who literally tries to tell me how to do something as I'm doing that something, it drives me insane. I just, you
Mm.
know what? Here, take the remote. I'm done. I You clearly don't believe that I have trained enough to do what you are trying to tell me the opposite of doing. So it's essentially it's like I'll explain it like this: taking out the trash when you living at your mom and dad's house, and they telling you, "Hey, you need to take out the trash," as you're walking out the door with the trash bag.
With the trash can.
But I feel like this has happened before.
Like, are
Mhm.
you serious? Are you? Don't tell me what to do when I'm doing it. Don't like, stay in your lane. Stay in your
That's
lane.
funny.
Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. Like, I hate it so much. Don't And they think that they're helping, and I feel like it's almost a controlling factor. Like, if I could say this right before they get done doing that, and I feel like the
I did my
bigger
job
person.
today.
Yeah, no, 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 boo boo, no. Mind your business. If I'm handling mine right here, do whatever you got to do on the side and stay out of my way. I'm already getting what I need to get done. Why are you talking
Mm.
to me? Why are you talking to me? Oh my, mm. Oh, that pisses me off so much. That pisses me off. Like, people who I have to pick up stuff like drywall, steel, like pallets and stuff like that. So if someone sits there and tell me how I should pick up 12-foot drywall with a
Mm.
boom truck, and you've never operated this by yourself, it's taking everything I have to not smack you. Just just know that.
That is
Just
what
know
allows you to keep that job, yeah, is that
Right.
willpower, patience.
that. Oh my goodness. It's like, you know what? If I wanted to, I could pick this whole thing up, run it into a house, and leave. I don't even what do you think this is? What do you think this is? Who is the only person who has a cert to do any of this stuff right now? So
Mhm.
shut up talking to me. Go stand in the house and wait till I bring this stuff up to you.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Whew. Mm.
Some people just
That's a
can't
good
I
help
one.
had
it.
to
They love feeling like the authoritative
I
figure.
had to get that. Ooh, that is another girl. Too many chefs in the goddamn kitchen.
Yeah.
Why? Why?
Mhm.
What is so hard? And maybe one of y'all can help me with this. What is literally so hard about sitting there and listening? Why do people think that their opinion matters?
Trying really hard not to chime in here. It's
Can
like
can we get some context, please?
If we're all working towards the same goal, right? That's it's like being in a huddle, and the QB is like, "All right, y'all, we're gonna do it like this, that, and the other." And you're gonna be open in the end zone by yourself to receive the pass. And the wide receiver's like, all right, y'all, we're gonna do this, that, and the other. I'm gonna go ahead and move this way just a little bit so you can, and you're like, bruh, who's running the show? Who's
Not
running
just
the
say
show?
that.
Sit
Yeah,
down. Sit
Exactly.
down. Sit down. Sit
Exactly.
down and shut up.
sit
Just
down.
listen. Just listen. Why
Stay in
can't
your
you listen?
lane.
Why do you think your opinion matters right now? Just listen. Like, do you want to win the Super Bowl, or do you want to get your
Man.
pass intercepted at the freaking 1 yard
Ooh.
line? Oh,
Mm.
Oh my goodness. Is it I feel like it's not even that. I feel like it's just an entitlement. Like you feel
Yeah,
as if,
it really
well,
is.
I can't let it's either one, you can't let that person have all the glory, or two, you just feel like
Oh,
you're
dude.
better than that person.
Yeah. You feel like what you have going is essentially it. Like, that's basically law.
Ugh. It's definitely ego, cause like, it's the people that gotta be the smartest one in every room, and they have to prove it. Like, so if you say something smart or you
Mhm.
show off that,
Yeah.
"Hey, I have the certification to move this
Yeah.
crane here," and then, supervisor or someone below you is like,
Mhm.
I can do that too." Like, is it that hard? Little to the left?
Yeah. To
Mhm.
constantly one up that person.
Yeah.
It's asinine. That's what it is. That's what it
It's
is.
great.
It's I just thought of something else. Good grief.
Mhm.
G G before I just start ranting and raving about this next subject, do you
Do it,
have any pet
do it.
peeves?
Do I? I'll do a silly one. Everybody's like, "Oh my god, work, ha, ugh." Clearly, that's an episode within itself, so we're gonna go on the lighter side of things, but it's still funny. In movies, everybody's waking up, it's morning.
Mhm.
Essentially, it's breakfast time. There's a full-on spread of everything from the food pyramid, the new one as well as the old one. Whoever
Mm.
the hell is leaving in the morning just decides to grab toast, put it in their mouth, "Gotta go," and basically dismisses everything on that table and just leaves.
Yo,
That's it. A piece of toast.
he runs out of the house and hops on a skateboard.
Outta there. Outta there. "Aren't you gonna eat, honey?" "No, I'm not hungry."
That's the cool guy. Yeah, that's what the cool guy does on the way to work,
First
yeah.
of all,
I cannot.
who's growing up in that
Freaking
household?
every
I
day.
would love
Yes.
to have grown up in that household.
First of all, who is eating that balance of a damn
I
breakfast? That is just
Who has
ridiculous.
that time? Listen, both my parents worked. I don't remember my mom making me breakfast during
Hello?
the weekday
Okay.
whatsoever.
Listen, not at all. That was a treat
Who
if that happened.
who is who's what? Can I go to that house?
Yeah.
And you were damn sure
Mhm.
eating it. You weren't just running out the house with a piece of toast in your mouth, like, "That's it?"
Listen,
Nah.
if my mom made me pancakes, you best believe I am
Mhm.
throwing down before I hit the town. There is nowhere in the world There's no way in the world I'm gonna leave with a piece of toast.
Yeah, for real, I was eating breakfast. Why are you late? Well,
Shoot.
food.
Mhm.
Shoot.
Man,
Gotta have my healthy breakfast in the entire food pyramid. Like,
the full-on spread. Full-on spread.
What is wrong with you? Have you lost
Ridiculous.
something?
It is annoying.
Oh my
Anytime you see
goodness.
that,
I do
they
hate
wake
that.
up, they're just ready.
I hate that so
Everything
much.
from cereal, eggs, bacon, sausage, pancakes and waffles, 6 kinda juices, milk, tea, coffee. Like, what is this? Whose spread is this?
most important meal of the day, and you're like,
Gotta
pass."
go.
How often are these breakfasts being made that you just get to a point of I'd rather eat toast?
Either that or the food is whack. That's another thing too.
Again,
You
the
could
toast don't be buttered.
you
You just
could be a
eat break
trash cook,
bread.
so I didn't yeah, perhaps. Maybe they
I
are.
never I never see anybody butter that toast, put it in their mouth, rub their little sister of
Who has
butter's
the
head, and then
time?
We are
leave.
so mad at these fictional
Who
characters.
literally has that time? It's a wrap.
Exactly.
Oh, it's not always the children too. It could be the dad getting into traffic.
No, it's always the hop trying to get your shoe on. All right, I gotta go. I gotta,
They just grab it, man. Gotta get on that skateboard
yeah,
Mhm.
because they're also putting on their high tops while the toast is in their mouth. They're like and swinging their bag on one shoulder, skateboard in the other end. No, they always trip because 'cause they're also tying their shoe at the
It's
same
like you're late, it's a wrap. That is another thing I don't like. Let's
exactly.
get into that. Let's wrap up movie breakfast. If you're late,
Stop,
you're already late.
yes.
There is no early in being
Who
late.
does
Like, if
that?
you're late, just call it. You're obviously gonna still make your efforts to get to where you need to go. Nobody has to rush
I
for
don't
you.
care if I'm late. I'm gonna have my meal.
Yeah, you can't fix it. The damage is done.
Not even that granular, like, even if it was just for school or
Yeah.
something, just you're already late.
I'm not gonna get out of the house half-assed meal because they were just too eager to leave.
What can you do to not be late at that point? Wake up
Mhm.
early
None.
tomorrow. That's it. At that point, not saying you
Yeah.
just give up on life, but I mean, it's done. Take your time, get presentable, pull up nice. That's it.
And if you're gonna be late, just call and let us know. Like that way we can prepare to either be without you or know that okay, this person's coming in late. Let's prep. Yeah.
Don't come in there all crazy looking, 2 different shoes and shit. Oh my
Yeah.
god, oh, I was having a
To
date. Like,
respect
what?
other people's time, I guess is the main peeve here. It's like
Exactly. The common courtesy. It's like common courtesy to let someone know that if they're running late, I rather have someone be a few minutes late than not show up at all, or just like be, oh, I'm gonna be late. It's like, okay, how late? And they don't really give you a proper. They don't give you a proper ETA. They're just that telling you that they're not really putting in the effort to even
It's
come
an
in.
L. That's an L you will have to take, unfortunately.
Hmm.
Mhm.
You don't get that a lot nowadays, actually. These young kids, they don't. And yes, audience of America and around the world, these young kids suck. And you're probably like, well, aren't you a young kid? Yeah, but I worked hard enough to be able to say what I want to say.
Oh my
These young kids
god.
Oh
suck. A
man.
lot of these kids today don't even believe. Here we go with another one. These kids all think that they owe something, and I don't get it. Why in the world do you think that you haven't worked? You never worked. You think that somebody owes you something? These stimulus checks are just excuses for these young kids to literally not do anything. It's the most frustrating thing in the world. I'm 29. I've had two jobs for almost the last 10 years. I literally been in and out of having two jobs for the last 10 years. I bust my butt to get to where I'm at. I promise if another young kid tells me that they don't like how something is going, I might just smack them. I might just smack them. I don't understand how you have so much to complain about and you literally done nothing. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Well, on the other side of that, I have something that pairs well with that. Essentially, like, if you have someone that is of the younger, whatever, generation, I assume, they pull up, but they have the assumption that they know it all and have been
Yeah.
in there and done that. Like, they have all the ideas and
Exactly.
harebrained schemes to get what you're done, optimized. But it's not even like
Mhm.
a good idea. It's just like, we should try this and do that, but you're like, here's 10 reasons why that's gonna fail and why nobody's gonna agree to do that. But they kind of like they have that very lazy ambition. Not ambition to where they actually would take that project forward and do it. They'll just have that weird air to them, if that makes any
Oh, it
sense.
makes all the sense in the world. It's like claiming, and one of my favorite comedians has a joke about this, having a family member that claims that they're an inventor
Mhm.
haven't invented jack squats. But they name a product and they say, yeah, I have a new invention where you can do this, that, and the other. Cool. Let me see it. Oh, I didn't do it yet. So you're not an inventor. No, it's an invention though. It's a thought. That's what that is. That's
Right.
not called an invention. You just think about stupid stuff. That's what that is. No, I invented it.
You spontaneously combusted.
None of that makes any sense. You know that doesn't make any sense. Like it's just the ignorance of it all. No, it goes beyond laziness. It really does, and it's just the uncreativity that goes along with that. Because not only is your scheme not gonna work, but it's something that has been done before by so many other people, and now you think that you're the person that's gonna pull it off. Why? How? How do you think that is? God, man, I hate the young generation. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them.
Oh, kids these days.
I know I sound like an old disgruntled man right now.
Yeah.
Oh, we all just sound like old disgruntled people.
Old
Oh,
fogies.
say again.
Back in my day, we had respect.
Back in my day, we had a switch. Kids make me angry. But another one for me, I know I just keep them running. I just keep coming with the hits. Another one for me is when someone argues, like they argue you down, but they know that they're wrong. If that makes any sense.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like all of last year, or you know what? Not even all of last year. Let's say earlier this year, with the whole raid on the Capitol building. Those people were arguing people down, knowing that they were wrong and what they did was wrong. But they will argue you down to the blue in the face that this is what it means to be an American.
Yeah.
And that what they did is so correct and so righteous that not only will they yell at you because they think that you're, but they will also state terrible facts trying to support that which they did. And you're like, are you so I had to literally, okay, all right, so I'm just gonna sit here, and that it's one of those things where it gets you so frustrated that you just, all right, I'm just gonna go to sleep or something. This
Mhm.
Well, that goes a little deeper because that's just built within them and that's their history. I'm not gonna say who I mean by they, but you can pick it up if you've listened to me enough. But yeah,
Try
essentially,
to
that's a little bit deeper. I wouldn't even call that a pet peeve. I just hate that shit.
I would call it a pet peeve because even the worst of people can agree. They can either A, agree to disagree, or B, just
Mm.
hear you out.
Yeah, have an adult conversation.
Exactly.
Mhm.
And that's probably where my main point is. Those types of people that just don't want to have that type of conversation and then get upset with you because you're stating facts,
Right.
and then they try to disprove it. You're like, are you serious right now? If you want to talk, we can talk, but I'm not going to sit here and let you just yell at me because you're upset that you're wrong. Don't don't come to me with falsehoods and then be upset when I try and have a
Mhm.
conversation with you, and oh, now you're talking political and giving numbers. Yeah, because that's the conversation that you wanted to
We
have.
live in a society. Come on, like, chill.
It gets to a point of them getting so mad that now it's not about the conversation anymore. It's just about who can yell the loudest. And you know, I'm not gonna get again. I'm gonna just go take a nap real quick. You can have this conversation. You win, I guess, if that's what you would. And I say this because this has literally happened to me at work, working with someone who was genuinely asking me about, or at least I thought they were genuinely asking me about like Black Lives Matter, the difference between that and Proud Boys and stuff like that. And I'm just having a normal conversation. And I'm
The
just
fact that you have to ask what the difference is,
yes.
ugh,
And I should have
ew.
recognized that, from then. And I'm just thinking, we just having a normal conversation. I'm just explaining to him what's the difference between those types of things. And it was one of two things. One, somebody who takes your life as a joke, like you ask and then I explain, but then you just make a mockery of it.
Mhm.
That's it. That with everything that has gone on recently, that right there is probably one of my biggest pet peeves in the world.
Yeah. And then they get mad at you, and then they target your feelings sometimes, or in most cases. Most
Don't
cases.
don't don't make a mockery of what I literally witnessed in my own household growing up as a kid.
Because they wanna because they're feeling a certain way, they wanna see you feel their same feelings. That's what they're doing, because they know you've lost.
Yeah, or don't even, like, meet you with, like, a combative attitude, especially, like, when you just see it in plain video. How do you contest that type of fact
Mm-mm.
with a straight face?
Arguing. Arguing.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Exactly. It's and then you try and make a joke out of it. Like, why? Why? How do you that's the most disrespectful thing that you can do.
Hey, some people do not care.
That was something like that. And believe me, I'm the type of dude that loves a good laugh. But if I feel like that you're actually asking me something,
Yeah.
and where
Mhm.
what seemed like we're having a good back and forth conversation, and you just slowly but surely start inserting jokes in there,
Right.
and all the jokes are pointed at black people literally sucking,
Mm-mm.
then it's kind of like, okay, well then we don't need to talk about it. we can stop talking.
Be mindful who you have conversations with, because those people are not worth your time.
Exactly. Exactly.
Literally cannot educate everybody. I know they beg and ask for it sometimes, but no,
And oh
sorry.
man, that is I've learned that the hard way.
Yeah, they're the people that are like, "Hey, well, tell me what I can do."
But I wanna learn. Do you?
And it's like,
It's mad
you want,
Yeah.
you to educate me on the history of the past 400 years
right.
of what black people have been through. Like,
Exactly.
when white people ask you that, they're like, "Well, tell me why things are like this. Like, how can I fix it? I mean, I'm just little old me." Like, they come at you with that,
Exactly.
and it's like,
It's just
"God damn."
me perpetuating privilege and stereotypes. But yeah, let's not get into that because that's a whole nother
Yeah,
topic.
that's boy, that's a different episode.
They're clearly not. They clearly aren't knowledgeable about this, so they feel like humor is the way to spring a conversation and topic, which is not the case at all. It's just mad disrespectful at that point.
Yeah.
What if we talk about pet peeves in video games? What do you guys have in respect to that?
The delaying of video games. The delaying of video games.
Everything.
Holy crap, give me Deathloop now.
I mean, but is that bad? That's a no, because I honestly would love a delay rather than throwing out a shitty game that's not completed yet. That's a bigger pet peeve to me.
Yeah, I
Uh-uh.
think we just learned that.
Yeah, damn a delay. Take all the time you need.
And then
Yep.
they have to put patches in the middle of the game when it's not even fully complete, when the audience has been looking for something like this for months or even
Mhm.
a year, and then you're putting patches on something that's not entirely complete. I'd rather have a complete game that's gonna last me that's gonna be fully patched,
And
playable.
worth my money.
I will wait 2 years or whatever the time you said it will be complete, fully patched in those 2 years, and just be like, "Oh, we'll do it in 6
Right.
months.
That
We'll do it
whole
in 6
rush to
months."
market and rush to beat the other developer, like, come on, do you want a complete game or you just wanna be the first person that fucked up?
Give us another trailer or something to for us to feel excited about an upcoming game that we will all enjoy. Don't give us a rushed copy of what you believe in your blueprint that it's going to be a great game for the audience to enjoy when it's clearly having technicalities, logouts, if you could say, those types of faults. I'd rather wait 2 years for a complete game than 6 months for patching it up. That's just mine. Give us a trailer.
I don't
Give me
even
a
want a
trailer.
trailer, just make the fucking game. I don't care about a trailer. What is that gonna do for me? 9 times out of 10, the trailer you're giving me isn't actual gameplay. All that simulation. I could care less about that. Just with the
Oh, yeah, I really hate those, like, cinematic
yeah,
trailers that people keep putting out. I'm like,
exactly.
"Nah, just give
Well,
us some
not
gameplay."
oh, not I want to say I'm sorry, not necessarily a
Mhm.
trailer, but give me like a showcase of the developers actually
No.
working on this. Like
The
there was some
No,
developers need to
illegal.
work.
you don't
That's
want that?
they don't need to do all this
Yeah.
extra shit. See, when you have them doing all this extra production and PR and public freaking relations, that's when people lose track of stuff. The hype is already there for your game. If it's that good enough, the first trailer enough is for me to be like, you know what, I'm gonna buy that. I'm actually gonna pre-order that, or I'm gonna keep watching
Let's
and
look
see
at
what else they come up
Cyberpunk.
with. Exactly. That was years.
Look
That
at
wasn't
how
a couple
much prep
years.
they did and how many, like, press developer
Marketing,
interviews that they did.
merch, everything. All
They
of
had
that.
Keanu Reeves come in and talk about his motorcycle
Hmm.
company and how they made a
Poor
bike
Keanu.
to go into the game. Like, dude, they
They did a lot.
sold that game hard. Yeah. And who's talking about that game right now?
Still
Like,
patching it
other
to
than
this day.
yeah, other than us right now? Like,
I mean,
damn.
I guess the biggest pet peeve nowadays is, well, over the last couple of years, but definitely slowed down, is microtransactions.
Oh
Like
god.
yeah, I
I'm over it.
that's
Pay to play DLCs.
I miss the days
Mhm.
because I forget about
Season
DLCs.
passes, dude.
I miss the days of being able to have a complete game the minute I bought it, and that's why I wait on a lot of games today, because you're literally gonna end up getting a DLC with the game if you just give it time.
Yeah.
So the simple fact of you got a lot of people who make a game
Mhm.
and then be like, "Oh, well, an extra $30, you get this DLC." And you're like, "Oh, okay, that's
Mhm.
it." And then they're like, "An extra $30, you get this DLC."
Yo, or even the tiered releases, the regular game, the bonus game, the deluxe edition, the platinum
No.
edition, the gold edition. Why?
Exactly.
Why?
Yeah, it's getting a little crazy, especially with Ubisoft. There's like 5 different versions of every game. They're like the gold, the silver, the platinum.
Deluxe.
Just for a couple of extra items?
Yeah,
Nobody cares. A skin? Woo.
Yeah.
and the one with
Okay.
the statue. They throw in the
Yeah,
statue at like
The extra
$300.
armor. Let's get that extra armor.
exactly.
Yeah, we gotta get that extra
They're
armor.
like, "Here's the main character."
Okay, you purchase it, but you purchase it, and then what do you get out of it? You're gonna enjoy it for that moment, but in 6 months from now, are you really gonna still enjoy that on how much you
No, the
purchased?
next game's already out,
Thank
man.
you, Aaron. Thank you. You
The
said
next
it.
game's
Thank you.
out. Fuck.
There was a time where you would play a game, you wouldn't even worry about what's coming out next because you're still on that
Mhm.
game.
Mhm.
Now,
Yep.
people just make essentially the same
Yeah.
type of game,
There was
unfortunately.
game loyalty, now we have brand loyalty.
Yeah, exactly. Developer loyalty, all that. It's
It's
wild.
kinda like the same blueprint, basically.
I said, "That's right, I'm loyal to Arcane Studios."
Mm.
I mean, we all have our brands that we mess with, so yeah. I'm not gonna front and be like, "I don't purchase from blah, blah, blah."
Well,
Damn.
I mean, yeah, I understand that
Yeah.
completely because EA is a whole hoe in these streets. So
Right,
I completely understand if people aren't messing with that brand or developer or anything like that, period. Because I
right.
mean, oh my goodness, they have
Mhm.
brought death to so many good companies. It is freaking ridiculous. But I understand that. I can't get too upset with people who be on that. It's like, well, yeah, I'm in that same boat. But man, I literally miss just being able to play a full game.
Yeah.
Mhm. Start to finish, knowing it's gonna work and be good, genuinely
Oh
good, right?
goodness.
Exactly.
Like now it's gotten so bad that it's literally crashing people's system.
Yep.
Why is that? Why are you okay with that?
Or your game save gets deleted, your inventory gets wiped, whatever, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you find out later that these glitches are happening just by one gameplay that wasn't fully patched, and it's kind of causing like technicalities on your console itself, which you're obligated to get another one, and you don't
I
want to
think
do
that's
that.
the biggest pet peeve. The biggest pet peeve is that they know and they're okay with it.
Yep.
And
Hmm.
you're just sitting there like you literally wait a minute. You mean to tell me that you sent the game out, you knew it was gonna destroy my system. You was okay with it because you were gonna patch it up the next
Mhm.
month or 2 months or however long it took you to code that, which I'm pretty sure you already have the code ready. But because you're trying to get to this deadline, you just shove the game out without the code.
It's just so much a console can handle. It can't handle all these patches. It's just so much.
They wanted those dollar bills, man.
It's literally like looking me in the eye, kicking me in the ball sack, and then saying, "I'm sorry, it was an accident." No, it wasn't.
Jesus.
You you literally looked at me
It
our
was an
whole
accident.
conversation before
God.
you did
Damn.
this, and then you tell me it was an act. No, that's not an accident. You're doing this crap on purpose. Like you do this crap to piss me off. That's the biggest pet peeve of the industry, right? You're doing all of this, and you know that you're screwing people.
Stop rushing it. That's all. Do not
Oh
rush
my
it.
goodness.
You don't give me things that are half-assed. I want something that's complete. Don't say things that are half-assed. Just handle your business.
Yeah,
The audience will wait. We're here
that's
for it.
true. We would've waited for a fully functional, PS4, Xbox One version, if it wasn't ready on day one. Be transparent, honestly.
They're treating it like a race. Literally, it's actually a
Mhm.
marathon.
Yeah.
And they wanted the game out on every platform on day one, and that was a mistake,
Who are you satisfying with
and they
that?
knew it.
That's the question. Yeah. Who do you?
Nobody, except for the guys with
Nobody. No.
3090s, like, in their PCs, like
The ones upstairs, exactly.
I think we learned a lot about transparency in the pandemic, though. Like, a lot of developers had to all of a sudden, do live streams and stuff and really talk about, "Hey, this is what we're working on in the game," like, get real-time feedback on stuff.
And I'm glad they're working on that. I'm glad they're working on it. It's you're telling us that we're in the process
Mhm.
of it, but don't tell us that um that behind the scenes that this is when it's gonna be released, and in reality we'll just continue to keep working on it, but we'll not really necessarily tell you.
Yeah.
And as a result, I've already pretty much forgotten about Cyberpunk. Like, I'll hear about it when it's done, when it's ready again, and we'll see if I wanna go
Yeah,
back to it. Like,
I'm in no
holy
rush
shit.
to get it.
Yeah, me neither. I'm waiting on the next gen update, and if that's still not enough, then yeah, it's going back on the shelf, man.
Oh my goodness.
Got other experiences to get to.
Yeah.
Diving on the topic of G saying that games are relatively the
Mhm.
same, I want to say one of my biggest pet peeves: games of
Mm,
service.
Yeah.
Just and it's more so because, and we've had this conversation earlier, that you don't know how to do it.
nobody does, to be
Like
honest.
you
Nobody.
just put the game you you put the game out there
We'll
and you're
fix it
just like,
later.
okay, content and expect you to stay for what's to come. And you're like, but
Yeah.
I want the game that you decided to put out now. Can I get at least a little bit of a storyline with the game that I just paid 60, 70, $80 for? No, you can't. There's more on the way.
$30 DLC, The Taken King is coming this fall. We can't wait to show you what we've been working on.
Like, give me I that's why I love storyline games so much. Give me a full I don't like games of service. I hate games of service. I know people love Avengers. I hate Avengers. The
Mhm.
only game of service game that I know that has gotten it right,
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto.
Grand Theft
Grand Theft
Auto.
Auto. And they didn't even say that.
That exists more than just a game of service, though. There's different
Sure.
modes.
Well,
They really didn't just focus on one thing. It was just like, "Okay, cool. We got it."
yeah, I mean, and I understand that they're offering you so much more than just the simple fact of we're a game that's going to provide more content for you every year or every
Mhm.
couple of years, or every couple of months. Like, like, like we said in our conversation, that's the blueprint right there. It still
Mhm.
has story, even when you're doing the extra stuff. It still has a great storyline to go when you're playing online.
Even
Yeah,
in the
Yeah,
multiplayer, yeah.
absolutely.
Even within heists or whatever new content they push out.
Yeah, and all of that is for the free.
exactly. The simple fact that you can't even look at that and just be like, okay, this makes sense. Let's do it like this. And you just provide me a game that's gonna offer me what skins? I don't
And nobody learns, what the other developers got wrong, so
oh
Yeah.
Destiny doesn't learn from The Division, who didn't learn from
Oh,
Anthem, who
boy.
didn't learn from Warframe, and so it's like, it's a clean slate every time a games as a service game comes out. Even Rainbow Six, another title that's like the same damn
Oh my
thing.
god,
my goodness.
it's so goofy now. Anyway,
Yeah, now they're doing,
but yeah.
like, Fortnite skins in Rainbow Six, is that what's going on? Like, it's getting
Yes,
I've
wacky, isn't it?
seen that.
there's too many freaking
Pink Desert
operators.
Eagles and shit,
And
Why?
like
then you could
Why are there like 8,000
I heard you could
operators?
play like Pickle Rick in some of these modes now. And I'm like, oh,
stop it.
this is ridiculous. As much as I love Rick and Morty,
It's so goofy.
I think the character-based shooter is gonna be, like, a standard going forward now.
Yeah.
Because we saw Overwatch, we saw Apex, and now with Valorant, it's like, does every shooter have to be character-based shooter?
It
Like, is
really
that where
doesn't.
we're headed? Like,
God, I miss Team Fortress so
Oh
bad.
goodness.
that was a jam.
Freaking Team Fortress Classic, boy.
I think that's overreaching.
Why? That's not gonna make me wanna play the game. A skin? Really?
yeah,
A skin.
Ugh.
It's a copycat industry. They're in competition, so they felt like, okay, if we can implement their type of blueprint,
Ugh.
exactly, yeah.
Yeah, that's terrible. Focus on replayability because they keep making these freaking popcorn games. It's just like you pick something up, you put it down, then that's the last you ever touch that game once you beat it, and that's it.
Make the game fun.
If you beat it, I should say too. That's a whole different thing.
Good
Well, that's
grief.
very
It's a
true,
copycat
yeah.
industry. That's the bottom line.
Yeah, I
It's a
worry
copycat
about that
industry.
too.
Yeah. That's why I only focus on story games a lot nowadays. Cause I mean that's the only chance I'm gonna get something new and different. I can't so samey.
Yep.
There's another genre that's gotten a little crazy lately, and ever since Outlast came out, it's just been these horror games where you hide in closets, you can't defeat the monster or whatever, you can't even attempt to do anything. So, like, Resident Evil 7, like, hitched on
Oh
that,
my goodness.
and, now you got 8, who knows what they're doing with that, they're going a little more of a fetish angle with that. But, like, I feel like every
Yeah.
horror game is just stealing that trope of going for that exact same brand of horror, and I'm like, there's so many diverse ways you can create horror.
Hide and seek. Yeah.
Hide and seek, it was so good in
Yes.
Outlast. It was so great. Running
Yeah.
from people, you had that feeling that someone was chasing you because the music, the
It was
sound,
fantastic.
the guy behind you is like, "I'm gonna skin you," and,
Yeah.
it's like we've done it 30 times since then in,
Mhm.
like, 17 different games. So it's like,
Blueprint.
it's overdone.
That oh my goodness. For someone who enjoys horror games, that probably is the most frustrating. Like I thought Outlast was great. Okay. I'm like, this game is amazing. And then to see everybody everybody and their mama do the same thing, and you're like, this game here is oh boy.
So it's similar about the music, the chasing. That part reminded me of Hello Neighbor, like the intense music when the neighbor starts chasing you, and of course the hiding in the closet to make sure he doesn't see you as well. When you said that, that's what it reminded me of as
Mhm.
well.
That's just another version of that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's another it's another ripoff.
Yeah,
Yeah, of the same thing.
Because there's no variation in gameplay, like, essentially, you
Trope.
make that a very, very
Mhm,
succinct choose your own adventure type of game, but you really know they're really directing you and pushing you toward what ending they want you to meet. So it's not really imaginative, it
mhm.
isn't new, it's kinda just dry. Watching it, like, time after time again, you're just like, "Okay, cool. What else you got?"
Everything why does everything have to be a battle royale now?
Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Did I get everyone with that? Did I get
Ah!
did we get the whole gang? Why does every multiplayer game eventually have to introduce a battle royale to remain relevant, you know?
because they're trying to reach for an audience, for them to interact with it more. When clearly it's the same blueprint with all these other first shooter games,
Mhm.
or even older games as well. An update that they put inputted.
Dude, when Battlefield and Fallout did battle royale,
Yeah, goofy,
stop
goofy.
it. I can't believe they did that. Well, because it's there is a lot of game design that goes into it, but the other thing that they talked about, developers said was it was also kind of easy in a sense because it was like, well, you didn't have to program narratives, you didn't have to, code AI or anything. You just give the players an arena, you throw some weapons, you write some algorithms to make it random, and you go from there.
Making maps, focus on characters. That's pretty simple.
Yeah, and then you go character based with it, and then people are addicted, which I get it because I just started Apex and, like, I like it now, it's weird, I hate battle royales, but I'm, like, pulled in because of the characters and the feel of the game. The feel is what gets me the most, I think, because it plays like Titanfall, plays Destiny has its feel, and that pulls me in because that's Bungie, they got the sauce, like, the secret sauce of first person shooters.
Yeah.
So it pulls me in, but I still recognize I'm being conned here.
Ooh, games suck today.
So what about the next Halo? Will that be a battle will it have a battle royale?
Oh, you know they're
You know?
putting that in
Yeah,
there.
certainly.
Absolutely.
You think
They
that's
have
why the
to.
grapple gun is there? So you
They're
can
definitely
so
doing
you
that.
can climb
Yeah,
buildings or whatever
exactly.
in the battle royale?
It will, absolutely.
The excitement that you used to have for, like, some releases, just gone. Eesh.
How about this? All right, the get good mentality here of like, you're playing Dark Souls, you're playing whatever it may be. You just gotta get good, and I don't know. People will just make games ridiculously hard just for the sake of it, and players will just roast each other even if like someone has a disability or someone's like, "Oh, I'm not that good at this type of game, but like I want to enjoy the story, so I'm going to turn the difficulty down." But you got those like elitists like
Mhm.
Dark Souls fanatics that are like, "You can't do that. You can't do Dark Souls is supposed to be hard. They made it this way, all right? Because like the adrenaline flows to my brain and I drink like 30 G fuels and then I can beat all the Dark Souls games back to back without getting
Mhm.
hit."
Like, I can do that to a certain extent. Like, I have no problem with people playing at pace. But if you play a game and you know, like, you're purposely bad, not even purposely bad, like, I can't even
If the type of game isn't in your wheelhouse type of bad?
yeah. You know you're bad at the game. You play the game anyway because other people are playing it, but then you don't wanna play the game in the first place.
Oh, so, like, you're forced playing it because it's hot.
Exactly, and then on top of that, you stream said game. Get out of here.
Mhm.
I not only do I have to watch you suck, but I have to also watch you be boring. That's my biggest pet peeve. Like, oh,
Damn, yeah. That's Fortnite streamers. Sorry, sorry. That's like every
yo,
Fortnite streamer, man. Like, you're
like
not as good
you
as
do
Ninja.
that
I'm
to me.
sorry. Sorry to crush your dreams there, but,
Oh, no.
like, I've been watching you run into cartoon houses for, like, 3 hours straight. It's not gonna get
No,
better. I can't watch it anymore. It's just me watching people's backs while they run. I'm like,
good
"That's
grief.
all this game is to me."
Like, "Yo, are you even building?
God
No? What does
damn.
that mean? Okay. I'm off."
I'm out.
And I don't
I've
even like
seen this
Fortnite.
already.
Oh,
Yikes.
Or yeah, I guess I see this a lot in Overwatch, but people that just, like, throw the game if they're losing, like, a little bit, you know? Throw it on
Oh,
purpose.
that is so
Yeah.
terrible.
And or if they just don't like the way you're playing, like, they'll be like, "Oh, you suck at healing. I'm just gonna throw the game now." Like,
You want do it to if you want to
yeah.
do that, if you wanna challenge yourself, more power to that person.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
Oh,
don't
shit.
criticize the person just because they're playing it in a certain way and it's not in your book.
people are hoes, Joaquin.
Yeah. So what about live
Ooh,
streaming? We're all live streamers here, right?
Yeah.
I retired. I retired.
Lay G is a experienced live streamer, Saturday
I
streamer,
do nothing of the sort. I don't know what you're talking
I was retired, y'all.
about.
That's how I look
secret
at that.
streams.
I
Secret
retired.
shoes.
He keeps saying that, but I don't know. He's
Are we doing streaming pet peeves?
someone else go first. I
Yeah,
can't.
Oh,
y'all
boy.
y'all want
Yeah, I got all the
y'all
good
want to
ones.
move into
I wanna know what Joaquin's
this?
peeves are. I haven't seen enough to know
Wait a
his
minute.
live streaming. Yeah, like you guys, Kong and G already heard my rant earlier. They got a preview. I was like, "And one more thing, God."
Listen, if we're about to hop into this live stream pet peeve thing, everybody needs to sit back, relax.
Yes,
Actually, you know what?
and
Go get you
realize.
something to drink real quick. Get some water, maybe some wine or something that's gonna make you feel good. Do a brief do a brief intermission.
Get you a snack.
Should we do a break? Should we do like a like a
We will be taking a break, at least from continuing the streaming pet peeves episode. Y'all got a whole hour-ish of an episode this week. We hope you enjoyed it. Feel free to send in your pet peeves via anchor.com or visit us at verbalvibemode.com and be sure to subscribe to us on your favorite podcast app. Later, y'all.
Mad love, y'all.